Come on, man.
Yeah. On to the next. Buffalo Bills. Let's go.
Jags get the victory at Wembley, and they're a happy bunch of big cats coming off the field. 23-7 over Atlanta. You saw it yesterday. You also saw Disney go full-out Toy Story. Woody had a big day in Andy's room, and the Jags got the victory. All kinds of fun and games. We're going to talk about it all with David Garrard right here, right now on Jags Report Live.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
There was a lot of energy on the sideline during the game. There's a lot of enthusiasm. Guys into the game, which is really good to see, and I think that was part of the success yesterday, was just how well these guys, they showed up and responded extremely well, and that's really good to see.
I would say Doug Peterson in a lot better place on this particular Monday than he was maybe last Monday, talking about the Jaguars' victory. They'll stay over in London, and now they got a big challenge in front of them, the Buffalo Bills. What's up, Sneakers? Oh, the fans are out to see David, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're over here at Sneakers at the Beach. Coming out and join us, or you're watching on Fox. There he is, David Garrard, ladies. Now, listen. This is the only time in the history of the show where the guest has outdressed the host. Well done, David Garrard. Very Natalie attired. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
But as the originator of the fight for the fedora, I would expect none less.
Exactly. I was going to say, I've been here before. I've
Yes.
been with you before. I know how it works.
Well, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, okay, now David's been out of the league for a while, so let's quickly fill folks in before we talk about the Jags win yesterday. David was a fourth-round pick in 2002 from East Carolina, 3-year starter, played 4 years for the Pirates. Back then, you'd stay 5 years in college. It was crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Had a huge career at East Carolina. I think the biggest thing that you did at East Carolina was you personally ended the U's dynasty.
Yeah.
East Carolina knocked off the University of Miami. What was your favorite highlight from college football, David? That was a pretty good
It
one.
was that game, beating the Miami Hurricanes, through the game-winning touchdown to Keith Stokes. And they had so many guys on their team that made it to the NFL that I still can't believe we were able to trounce them.
Drafted by the Jaguars in 2002. Of course, David eventually became the starter, a Pro Bowler, led the Jaguars to the playoffs. Historical run, went up to Pittsburgh and beat those stinking Steelers in the playoffs. Did it with his arm, did it with his legs. It was a great night. A lot of good memories for you. And then ultimately, you played quarterback. You got beat up, and injuries eventually took their toll, right?
They did, and they still are. But I'm doing pretty good. I feel great. Just excited about the way my life is going. My kids now, they're the ones playing sports and taking all those punishing brunts of injuries. My son is at Fletcher High School.
Shout out to the Beach Rats.
Yeah, big boy, 6'3", 330, so he does not play quarterback.
You heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. 6'3", 330 means he's not a quarterback. David swore he would not have an offensive lineman, but he does.
I do. But at least he's now protecting the quarterback, so I'm cool with that.
That's fair. All right, let's talk about the Jags. We didn't have a fast start. Yesterday we did. That was important, I think, for the Jags to get going. And what did you think of the offensive performance? Especially, look, in the end, they only scored one touchdown, but they got in the first quarter. They got 10 points early, and that helped them, I think.
Overall, they were moving the ball. They were efficient in, between the red zones, but they got to do more to get points on the board. We can't get the ball on the 10-yard line and come away with no points.
Yeah.
That is, just disrespectful. You got to be able to find a way to get the ball in the end zone more. We got too many weapons, and I think they're still trying to figure out ways to get everybody the ball. And you're right, Doug, they do need to stop reading the press clippings and just get out there and make plays.
Yeah, so we'll take it, get you to 2-2, set you up for Buffalo. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball, who's probably been the strength of the team so far this season, which is surprising. And I think maybe if we look at it this way, we're pretty sure the offense is going to get going at some point. So at this point, we're pleasantly surprised by the defense. I thought Desmond Ridder helped them out a little bit yesterday, Dave. But nonetheless, Josh Allen with 3 sacks, and they made big plays. A couple interceptions, a pick six. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they did. They made great plays. Josh Allen, we need to see that more often. I think defensively, if they can just continue to be consistent, then they can do these things more often. But we need Trayvon to still step up and provide more pressure. The secondary is making me feel pretty good about things because they're getting their hands on balls and not just knocking them down. They're making plays, getting interceptions, pick sixes. If you get one of those in the game, you're almost guaranteed to win the game.
Well, David, Brent Martineau is over in London. He's going to stay with the Jaguars all week long. As far as I know, today he was at a pub drinking Guinness
I would be
all day long. So there he is. I don't know how he's feeling or looking. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, he's got more on the Jags. A big win from yesterday.
A Monday feels better in Jacksonville and here in London for the Jaguars and all the fans across the pond and even here after a win over the Atlanta Falcons 23-7. It's the perfect fix in the NFL. Just get a win. And the Jaguars certainly breathing a bit of a sigh of relief after snapping a 2-game losing streak.
Needed it. I mean, it's the league, bro. It's week to week, and sometimes you start out slow, and so it's big just to carry this momentum out.
Got it done. Played good. All 3 phases. Complimentary football. That was a big goal for us. Starting fast, got rid in the end zone fast. Defense played lights out. McManus was money all day. Special teams played good. It was just a good complimentary football win.
Being able to come into the locker room and the sideline, just the energy and seeing the smiles on everybody's face. It's you never take this stuff for granted winning in the NFL. So, like I said, just great for us to get this thing back on track and get our confidence back.
It really started, this past Monday when we were back in the building after that Houston loss. We had such a terrible taste in our mouth, and we just know that last loss wasn't us. And so we really started on Monday, and every single day we just kind of took that work to win mentality, just to be ready for this game.
I mean, we need them all, but yeah, this one was good to get one, especially over here, kind of get back on track.
Now the Jaguars go for a clean sweep here in London and try to get above 500 for the first time in the 2023 season. It's a tall task. The Buffalo Bills are up next, coming off a big win on Sunday. Always on the road with the Jacksonville Jaguars, this time in London. I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jax.
It's time for the game plan. Sponsored by Everbank. Advantage you. Make the most of your money at everbank.com/Jaguars.
All right, I could talk about Trevor Lawrence all day long, but I got a quarterback here, and I want to ask this NFL quarterback about our NFL quarterback. So let's start with the offensive line, though, because in all honesty, they've been struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
They made a move yesterday to bring in Shatley, replace Ben Barch with him. They'll get Cam Robinson back this week, so we'll figure out how they're going to position the O-line. But overall, the offensive line just average at best so far, right?
Yeah, they definitely got to shore things up. They got to make Trevor feel more comfortable in the pocket, but they also got to get the run game going. I mean, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, we got to get those guys going.
Yes.
That also will make Trevor feel a whole lot better.
Does it affect you as a quarterback if you don't have the faith that that pocket is going to be there and that somebody's coming and your eyes start looking? I mean, does that affect you if it keeps happening over and over?
1,000%. Okay. Because if you feel like somebody's coming, then you're in the back of your mind, you're skittish. You're not finding guys. You're not going through your reads properly. And that's what Trevor needs because he's an intelligent guy. He's got a big frame. He's got a great arm. But if he feels like there's always somebody there to take a shot on him, then he might get out of the pocket a little sooner, or he might not find that third or fourth receiver that's wide open to give him a chance to make a play.
All right, so let's talk about Trevor. Let's focus in on him now, from the offensive line to the quarterback. Look, we all know he's an outstanding young talent. He's still young. He turns 24 this week. But I said last week, I think he can still play better. I think he has to play better for this team. Like, great quarterbacks got to lift everybody up around them, don't they?
They do. And, I like to say how Josh Allen's been playing. He struggled in the first game, but picked things up, and he actually dialed it back a little bit, but is still making plays. He's getting the ball into guys' hands. That's what we need Trevor to do. We've got the weapons. We just got to allow him a little bit of time to find the guys, get them the ball so they can go make these explosive plays because they can.
All right, let's look at Trevor's numbers. We'll call it the Trevor Tracker, and we have that for you as we look at what he's done so far this football season. And again, he had 207 passing yards, which is good. I love the 42 rushing yards. He's not like, David, like he's not the wiggliest guy.
Yeah.
He's back there, but straight line, he can run. So if they're in man and they go back and he sees a seam, take it, man, right?
He is enough of an athlete to be able to move the chains for us. I'm not saying you're going to run 45, 50 yards down the field and go score touchdowns all over the place. You're not going to be Cam Newton or anybody.
Right.
But move the chains. Get enough. Get out of bounds. You seen Patrick Mahomes last night.
Yeah. Oh my
was
God.
not having the best night throwing the ball. He had some really ugly throws. But he said, you know what? I got these legs. I can get out of harm's way and go get a first down for my team. That's what you need your quarterback to do, especially when they're struggling a little bit.
Patrick, for us poor folks, next time, run it into the end zone. Don't slide in terms of Vegas, but we'll leave that for another day. David, I want to go to a 4th and 1 play, and we'll get your opinion on this. Christian Kirk is lined out to the right side. You folks in here can watch this. There's Kirk 13. Here's Trevor. Should he rip that ball to Kirk, or is that covered? It's hard for me to tell, but you've been there. What do you think?
I think you don't want to take a sack.
One more look at it. Again, it's 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Here goes Kirk. Now, what about right now?
Absolutely. There's the guy slipped. There's an opportunity there. So that's on him, but it's also on the offensive line because, once again, if you're not comfortable in the pocket, you'll miss guys like that, and that's unfortunate because he was open. In the NFL, that is open, almost wide open.
That's fair. That's fair. I tell you what, I kind of don't like the 4th and 1 drop back pass.
I don't either.
Can't we just get a yard?
I mean, I'm an old school guy. I've got somewhat of a big frame, especially now. I look like a 3 technique, but you know what? He's a big guy. He should be able to get 1 yard or give it to your backs.
Oh, we drafted a guy in the 3rd round.
You know what? The offensive line has been struggling to get the run game going, so coaches are thinking, what do we do? You know, and sometimes as a quarterback, you just got to give a guy a chance. He is definitely in the read there. It's his second read. Give him a chance to make a play on the ball.
All right, we got another play. We got a 3rd and 5 situation for Trevor. Now, we're going to show it to you again wide. Yeah. Right here, he's got the first down.
I mean, there is literally nobody in front. You don't want to throw it. So when you're looking at this play, you're thinking he had a good ball to a running back. And your running backs get smaller.
Look up to the left, though. Right there. There goes Christian Kirk now.
Kirk
Trevor's
again.
Rolling right.
Now, you're not throwing. You could because he's so wide open. But look at all the field in front of him.
Yeah, go
just
get that
go
first.
make that play so we can keep that drive going.
Doug Peterson said as much today that he should have ran for it. I understand maybe you're rolling right, and so your eyes got to look back to find him. But
well, he's also a quarterback that likes to get the ball out of his hands. He doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't want to take those shots. I understand that. But in that moment, you got to understand where the game is at, what the feel is. Go get that first down so we can keep fighting for a touchdown.
All right, let's hear from number 16 about his performance yesterday.
No, I think guys did their job, and there's always going to be things that you can do better for all of us each week. So I think guys did their job. They did what they needed to do, made the plays they needed to make. There's a ton more out there for us offensively, a couple plays that I missed that, I'm kind of kicking myself over. But we're going to turn the page and go into Buffalo and make the corrections and get ready to put a game plan together to go win that game.
Power Play of the Week, sponsored by IBEW Local 177, powering Jacksonville since 1912.
All right, he went to Creekside High School. Darius Williams got the thrill of a lifetime in London with the INT, and it's the worst feeling for a quarterback, though, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely, 100%.
Did you ever throw a pick six?
You know what? I can't remember in the NFL. If
That's good. You blacked it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't check, so I don't know.
I know I threw one against Cleveland. He almost scored, but I tackled him right before he got there.
You ain't getting in, man.
No, sir.
But, yeah, it's a horrible feeling for a young quarterback, and he came right back and threw another one to Cisco.
Yep.
Jags were opportunistic. They made the plays. In fact, Darius Williams dropped another one that he could have had. But the secondary played well yesterday. And, again, the young quarterback for Atlanta is struggling a little bit. You got Kyle Pitts, Drake London. You got to get those guys the ball.
You do, and he's young, so he wants to stare guys down to make sure they're going to be open. And the DBs are just thinking, you know what, I'm just going to sit on these routes because they're not running by me. He doesn't have that kind of arm. I'm sure he can throw it far, but he just hasn't been very accurate with those deep balls.
All right, let's hear from Darius Williams.
Yeah, just going through film, we knew they're a good, quick game team, and we were in a man coverage pretty much. So, I got my look. I saw Trey Herndon go out. He kind of slowed him down for me, and I just jumped it. That's what our defense is. We know what we could be. Last week obviously wasn't our week, but those are the type of plays that we have, like from the guys on this team. So we expect those plays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the defense, he's done it before. Oh, I like that celebration. He's done it before. If he can do it again, if our Josh Allen is better than their Josh Allen, the Jaguars are going to win a football game on Sunday over there at Tottenham. They get ready. We'll talk about our Josh Allen and more with David Garrard here at Sneakers. It's Jags Report live.
This is the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Josh looking down the sideline. It's Diggs with another flag out. He is able to get away from those two tacklers. And no one's going to touch him.
Oh, dear. Big day for Buffalo up there at Orchard Park as they took care of the Dolphins, the previously undefeated Miami Dolphins. 48 points. All of a sudden, Josh Allen, who was a little shaky in that first game against the Jets, is suddenly an MVP candidate. As we welcome you back to Sneakers and Jags Report Live, and that's what we're doing right here. We appreciate all you folks coming out tonight, and we talk about our Jaguars. We've got David Garrard here. You talked in the last segment a little bit, David, about Josh Allen. There's one thing about the NFL, man. It is a week-to-week league.
It sure is.
We can sit here all we want and go, oh, my gosh, did you see Buffalo play yet? They're not going to play like that. Things change every single week, so who knows what's going to happen. In Trevor Lawrence's first year, you'll remember, they beat Urban Meyer, the coach.
Yeah.
They beat Buffalo, who was really good, 9-6 down here.
Yep.
Who knows what's going to happen on Sunday? The Jags certainly can play with the Bills.
Yeah, you know, from that first game, Josh Allen, he's just gotten into a rhythm, you know, and that's what we need Trevor to get into.
Yeah.
But it seems like his offensive line is giving him the time to go through 1 and 2 and to find a guy short, and the short guy is taking the ball 15, 20 yards, giving him some good yak. So we've got to get into that same kind of rhythm, and hopefully we can get it going with the Bills.
It wasn't all bad for the Jags yesterday. There's plenty of good offensive moments. In fact, let's show you the drive of the day.
The drive of the day, driven by your local Ford dealers.
All right, so the Jags are up 17-7, and Trevor Lawrence and the Jags get going. They need some points, and boy, it was tough running for Etienne, but he was fighting hard, but he never really got a lane. Here's Trevor again getting flushed out, getting some running in and diving for a first down. That was key on a third down conversion, and you got to have those, and he felt it. You know, he felt the pressure there. He's looking. You see he's kind of looking around, and he finally found Christian Kirk, who had a big day, Dave. 8 catches for 84 yards. They got back to Kirk and Ingram yesterday for sure, right?
They did, and you have to. You got so many weapons. Just find the guys that are open.
All right, we talked about Josh Allen, their Josh Allen. Our Josh Allen was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week when they played Buffalo a couple years ago. He's got 6 sacks already, and those sacks yesterday, they weren't like the sacks at Indy. Those were legitimate sacks
they were.
that Josh Allen had yesterday. Big year for him, contract year.
Yep.
But, boy, he's playing. I mean, 6 sacks in 4 games. Now, Ritter turned right into him on that one, but don't matter, man. We'll take it.
Well, absolutely, we'll take it. And this right here, that sack right there, he really showed this is what I can be. This is the kind of player I am. We got to see that more consistently. Our whole team just has to be more consistent.
Josh Allen on his performance yesterday.
For me, it's just day to day. You know, I try not to become a robot and say, I'll have to do this, I have to do this. If I don't do this, then it's not going to happen. So I'm really in the moment and just handle my business. You know, for me, this is strictly business, you know, and I'm about my business. I'm ready to win games. I want to be the guy for the defense that we can count on.
All right, the Jags are going to have an interesting decision to make with Josh Allen at season's end. I don't know how – they don't have pass rushers. I don't know how you can let the kid go.
Yeah.
But he has 33.5 historically. He's 1/2 behind Joel Smengi. Yannick had 37.5. The best pass rusher I've ever seen wear a Jaguar uniform was Tony Brackens. He was so good from Texas. And Calais had 31.5 in his, 3 years here.
Yeah.
So Josh passed his old teammate, Calais Campbell, yesterday. So Josh moving up the charts. It's a big year for him.
Yeah.
That plays into a player's mind, though, doesn't it, Dave? I mean, it has to, right? Am I going to be here next year? Am I not going to be here? This is kind of my home. I'd like to stay here. What do I do? You went through some of that, obviously, when you were a player. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is you want to be able to help your team, and helping your team means getting sacks, and that's what we need him to do. So his best opportunity to get sacks and to get paid and to stay right here is to go get those quarterbacks. That's what he's here for. That's his ability. And we see that he has it. Once again, just has to be more consistent.
Go get that quarterback, Josh. Do it again on there, Josh Allen. Say hello to him personally on Sunday. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Good day yesterday. That means the Sunshine and Rainbows Club is full, and we'll let you know who's in it when we return right here. It's Jags Report Live. We're live at Sneakers at the beach. Woo! Yeah! Yeah!
It's Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
All right, Sunshine and Rainbows Club is full. Hey, let's get our kicker in there. He had a 56-yarder. He made his field goals yesterday, unlike the week before. So you got to make those. You guys get mad at the kickers when they miss.
We do, but you know what? We can't do it. It's not like we can walk out there and go start kicking.
That's true. That's true. You say you have one job. You have one job. You just got to get it done. So great job by the Jaguars. Great job. Listen, you know who had a really good game yesterday too was Anton Harrison.
Yeah.
He had a real nice game. He had one of 10 tackles that gave up 0 pressures yesterday in the NFL.
You know what? That is awesome. He's a rookie, and the fact that we don't call his name that much is a really good thing.
And minus that early play where poor Chad Muma was up against Bijan Robinson, that's not fair.
He's going to do that to everybody.
That's not fair. But I thought he showed up in the game yesterday. I thought he dropped back. I thought he played pretty well in pass coverage and was physical.
He really popped. You know, when those guys, you're looking at the game, you're like, oh, it's Chad Muma. Oh, Chad Muma. So good for him.
All right, we told you, David told you that he's Coach David Garrard now. So we have some, I think we have some pictures of you in action here. So you have a son and 2 daughters. There's your lovely wife as well.
Mary.
He's also a coach and a talented player still, by the way, on the flag football fields of Jacksonville. Now, what kind of coach are you? You are kind of a quiet quarterback. I can't imagine you get miffed a lot. Do you?
Not much has changed, especially when you're working with 10 and 11-year-old girls.
Yeah.
You know, you got to stay composed because the moment they feel like you're about to lose it, then they're definitely going to lose it with some tears.
Oh, now there you are. You're yelling a little bit. Now, let's go from flag football. Your daughters also play softball. I see their pictures all over Jack's Beach on teams that win.
There they go, McKenna and Sydney.
What sport do they like better?
You know what? They like flag football more than they like softball. McKenna told me if flag football was an everyday sport, she'd play it every day, just like kind of softball is. But they love both of them. McKenna's a very good catcher, and Sydney is playing between pitching and catching. So we're hitting the positions.
I like that.
Sure.
I like. And then one other thing, what Jacksonville loves about David Garrard is David Garrard came back here. He settled back here in Jacksonville, and he's a Jaguar fan too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you went to the playoff game last year in Kansas City. How was that?
It was my first away game. Look at me, first away game, and it was the playoff game. It was beautiful. I mean, we didn't win. But it snowed. It was a great atmosphere, and we played them tough, you know. So the more they can do that, the more away games I'll go to.
Well, that's great. And
here we are with the fans. It was so cool.
You know, my buddy Daniel Murphy went to that game as well. He played baseball for the Mets, and he played against the Royals in the 2015 World Series, but he was out there just regular talking to people. He said nobody knew who he was. He kind of enjoyed that. Do people recognize you out there in Kansas City?
They did, and I didn't think they would recognize me.
That you, Garrard!
They did, and I was bundled up. And I mean, it was cold, and fans were finding me left and right. It was a lot of fun. I got invited to a lot of little functions. Had a few drinks to go around.
Boy.
Keep me warm out there.
Got to. All right, we're just warming up. We're only halfway through the show. Stay with us. We got a lot more ahead. The Jags are staying in London, so we'll have more from London Life coming up. Fulham had a soccer match. I don't know how it turned out earlier. And we're at Sneakers, though, here in Jacksonville Beach. And I want to show, look at Rebecca and Andrew Schroeder.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, just married. Congratulations. Yeah, let's hear it for the beautiful couple, man. Oh, they're so happy.
Brent.
Oh, if I could only tell them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. This is Jags Report Live.
It's Jags Report Live, coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Oh, it was crazy. First of all, I couldn't hear the snap. Caught the ball. They were still screaming it. Literally got hit, slid out of bounds. They were still screaming. It was so cool. It was very loud. I loved it. That was awesome.
Right during this play at Wembley, sweet Jags of mine. Ba, ba, ba. Good times never felt so good.
So good, so good, so good.
Yeah, see, we can do that here, too.
Yep.
Welcome back, everybody. We're live at Sneakers. Fans are having a good time. Hello. We appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with me and Dave. David Garrard is our special guest. We appreciate him being here as well. Let's dive into Buffalo a little bit. First, let's bring you the keys, what we think are the keys to the game.
Your keys to the game, sponsored by Greenway Kia.
All right, third down conversions, Dave. We've sort of struggled there. 5 of 14, well, really 5 of 12 yesterday.
Yeah.
At the end, that didn't matter, but that's still, it's got to get a little bit better.
The better you are on third downs, you can basically correlate to how good your team is.
Yeah.
So third downs and red zone, you got to be better than 50% if you can.
Move those chains, right? Josh Allen against Josh Allen. We talked a little bit about that. Their Josh Allen is great. Our Josh Allen is playing great. He's a big part, though. But this Josh Allen, you're a big dude.
Yeah.
That Josh Allen is a big dude.
He's a real big dude. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got to get our Josh Allen and Trayvon to both provide that pressure, and the guys up the middle, and bring some guys in from the bleachers, and bring some guys in from the concessions. Somebody hit the quarterback, because he is really good if he has time.
All right, we're also going to need an explosive passing game. We got to get a few more down the field. Trevor's not averaging a lot of yards per catch. So Brent, as we told you, is staying with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's with the Jags this week, and he talks a little bit about what it is and what it's like for the Jags and what they're going through this week as they prepare for Buffalo over in London.
The Jaguars organization has played in London quite a bit. There are other teams and players across the National Football League that have now done this. But if you really ask them if their body is acclimated by game time, the honest answer would probably be no. That's what makes this game against Buffalo coming up on Sunday different. The Jaguars are the first team to stay in London and play a second game. They should be more acclimated to the time zone than the Bills.
It's nice that we won. Imagine if we didn't. So I think that was a little extra fuel. Get acclimated, like they're saying, but it's a hard practice week because it's not at home with all of our tools and facilities and stuff. So understand the task at hand, but we have to find a way to come out on top.
I don't know if I'd ever say it was ever an easy week in the NFL, but I think it'll definitely help getting acclimated. You know, I mean, I know hopefully I'll sleep better than I did, but I think it'll be good for the guys. You know, saying we kind of already guys are getting acclimated and be here over a week, so I think it'll be a good opportunity for us.
Yeah, we got the first 3 days here. I think it's hard because your body's just all over the place, but I feel like I'm here now, ready for this next week. We got some time off, ready to see a little bit of London, and I love it.
We're going to obviously be well rested, adapted to the time change, because that is a real thing. You know, you're on a big time change. It's a long travel day. We're going to use it to our advantage and anything we can, but you got to have a great week. Got to prepare this the exact same way. But it'll be nice to have a full week to kind of get acclimated.
In sports, you're always looking for an edge or an intangible. But the bottom line, no matter how long the Jags have been here versus how long the Bills have been in London, usually the better team playing better on Sunday wins the game. And that's likely what's going to happen on Sunday as well. Always on the road with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over here in London this time, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jax.
All right, we go from football to football. Fulham playing tonight in action. You know Stuart Weber, who loves football, was on hand watching this one. He's got more on what exactly happened tonight over with Fulham. Hey, look, he's by the eye. What a fun time they're having, huh? Take it away, Stuart.
For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars are staying in London for more than just the one game. One of the interesting side effects of that is more time in London and a chance for the Jaguars players to do something they haven't done on any previous trip. That's take a trip to Craven Cottage. Fulham FC, also owned by Shad Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, playing a matchup on Monday night against Chelsea. And look, the matchup didn't go great for the home team, but it did end up being a good time for the players to spread their legs, check out London, and get to experience some Premier League soccer.
I grew up a big soccer player, so being able to catch a game, a match over here in front of like their rowdy crowds and stuff, it's all you hear about growing up is like, Premier League soccer. So I'm very excited to be able to see it in person.
One thing those Jaguars players may have noticed at Craven Cottage, renovations. They are still ongoing of the Riverside stand at the over 100-year-old stadium owned by Fulham FC and Shad Khan. Perhaps a look at the future with the Jaguars hoping they get some renovations for their stadium down the line. In London, England, Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jags.
All right, I want to ask you one question, David, about the schedule. And this is my only concern. And we'll see how it works against Buffalo. Some people say we'd rather play in London than go to Orchard Park. I get that. Okay. But then you come back, and now you're living on London time. You're acclimated to London time for like 10 days. You're going to come back to the States, and you got a game against the Colts the following week. It's going to take you 3 or 4 days to get back to being used to being back here. I'm a little worried about that Colts game.
Yeah, I think it's great that we stayed over there to play the Bills. I think that is positive for us. And to come back, it's the Colts. So you'll get up for that one. And you know that the division is on the line, all those good things. So it couldn't be better. If it was somebody that we didn't care so much about, it might be pretty ugly. But I think they'll be up for it.
Well, listen, me and Dave are hungry. So we're going to go mosey over to the bar, see what they're cooking for us, and see what's on the menu when we come back. This is Jags Report Live. We're at Sneakers. The Jags winners yesterday over the Atlanta Falcons, 23-7. Rasheed Mathis is here. He's coming up next. No. Old school.
Old school. Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
No, we got on Andre about fumbling. You know, he's got to work on his ball security. But it was an excellent play.
Yo, my heart stopped for a second. That was crazy. But yeah, that was just us talking on the sideline, expecting that play.
So mighty.
All right, we are at Sneakers, and we're celebrating a Jags victory, and there's only one way to celebrate, and that's with food. Listen, I love me some food. I love me some Sneakers. I love me some. David.
Ooh.
They're bar.
Are we really going to dig in?
Oh, we're going to dig in. But before we do, we're going to talk about what's on the menu. And in honor of you being here, David, my good friend, where's the screen? Look over there and up at the big screen. And let's throw back to our. Oh, there he is.
Oh, look at that guy.
There's our quarterback. Man. Always a fan-friendly guy, working out. He had practice, old DG9 back in the day, Dave. Oh, do you miss that time, Dave?
I miss being fit like that.
Now, what did you tip the scales at back then?
I was 245 back then.
Oh, my goodness, that's a big quarterback. 245 he weighed, ladies and gentlemen. But, man, what an arm. You had an arm from the day you were throwing a football for the first time.
I was 9 years old playing with my older brothers and their friends, backyard football, and I was the kid getting to throw the ball off after you score a touchdown.
I like that.
With 16-year-olds.
Yeah, he could always throw a football, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Trevor Lawrence, how good can he be? We've talked a little bit about him earlier. What are your thoughts about Trevor? He's a franchise quarterback, but while you talk,
you're going to eat.
Go ahead, grab me a wing.
I think Trevor is absolutely a franchise quarterback. We just have to see him continue to grow and be more consistent, be the guy that rises to the occasion, that is winning the ball games because of him. He's done it quite a bit now, but we got to see it on a week in and week out basis.
So messy. So messy.
So it makes them so good.
They're so good. They're warm. Do you want one?
I'm okay.
You can't eat on
I'm going to have it all over my face.
On TV, I know. All right, one more topic before we move on. Defense.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the numbers. There they are. They played well yesterday. They stopped the run. Bijan had a good day, but they got the takeaways, Dave.
Yeah.
3 of them. That's a good day.
That's a great day.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, if we can have a defense that is greedy and wants to take the ball away, then we'll win a lot of ball games. And we can win them ugly if that's the way we do it, but you just want to win so you can get in the playoffs.
One of the things that we talked about in the break was how much we like Foye Oluokun.
Yeah.
Before we get to him, let's look at how he did yesterday.
Okay.
Your Tackle Tracker, sponsored by IHRS, tackling hair loss.
I mean, all he does is make tackles, Dave. This guy is a physical football player who can find the ball. That's a gift. Not everybody can do that. How does he do that?
I don't know. I remember watching the game last year, and I thought, man, has he made every tackle today? And it wound up he had like 18 solo tackles. And I'm like, that's like almost all the tackles for the whole defense. That guy just, and he never gets up hurting or ailing anywhere. He's just always ready to go every time.
Dave, I'm going to need you to throw to break and be a professional sportscaster while I just pig out on these delicious wings.
All right, coming up, we got the Jaguars. More Jaguars coming up, so be ready.
The Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
That was a tough one tonight, okay? Man City has still got our number. That's all right. We're going to get another crack at them later in the season. Okay, well, I'll see y'all on Monday.
There we are. It's one of the best shows on television. Ted Lasso, Marcel Robinson, the Fedora champion last week. The Fight for the Fedora is an annual thing that we do with the Action Sports Jax team, and we started that as we welcome you back to Sneakers. I got a moist towelette, by the way. I appreciate the staff helping me out here after I ate a chicken wing on live television. Never did that before. I've been doing TV a long time.
That was impressive.
Thank you, David. The Fight for the Fedora is what it was coined, and that is in honor of you.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know this about David, back in the day when he played for the Jaguars, the best dressed quarterback, as you can see, we had in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And that fedora is what we chase every day. They love you that. I love you that. When did you decide that I'm going to dress? Was that Mary's doing or was that your doing? I need to know the truth.
It was a combination of both.
Okay.
I just said, you know what, I'm going to try it. It looks good. Looks a little gangster. So I went with it.
David Garrard. So he started the Fight for the Fedora, but you need to know more. And to know more about the Fight for the Fedora, we have Liv Tasley, and she has a little history lesson for you right now.
I'm David Garrard, and I'm joining the Action Sports team.
Our journey begins in 2014 with the man behind the inspiration, David Garrard. DG had just retired from the league, but during his time as QB1, he made winning not only feel good,
that's what you gotta do,
but also look good. Enter the Golden Fedora.
The sparkle's so powerful that it once drove a man mad after he stared too long at its shimmering magnificence.
The fight took the trio to wild places, from the depths of a jungle with the familiar explorer,
Swiper, no swiping. Swiper, no swiping.
To a galaxy far, far away.
Join me, and we can win the Fedora and beat Brent Martineau.
But for 2 straight years, only one man would come out victorious, Dan Hicken. Then the game changed. A newcomer came along in hopes to ruin the Dan Hicken dynasty.
Stuart Weber. He is now being crowned as the GOAT, the coolest of all time.
But even with fresh blood in the water, Dan Hicken improved to a level only the greats can achieve, a three-peat.
To those who fought hard for that honor but fell short, I have a simple message. Nanny, nanny, boo-boo, stick your head in doo-doo.
But all dynasties eventually come to an end, and that was music to one fighter's ears.
So good! So good!
If I had ears, they would be bleeding.
Now, we all know when a dynasty goes down, a rivalry begins, bringing out the side of the sports team we don't see on camera.
You'll never catch me, Mr. Garrard.
Shut up, Stuart!
Brent Martineau went on to win back-to-back years, even after another Warrior entered the battle.
Go Dogs.
The trio quickly grew to 5, at least for 1 year. After the 2018 season, David Garrard said goodbye to the battle, never once winning the fashion accessory he brought to fame. And for 3 years, the fight was a battle of 4, with different overall winners each and every year. Then, a change in the game. Enter Player 5.
I love the taste of a good victory.
And there you have it, and there we have what's... Oh, look who's in first place currently, David.
Oh,
okay, all right.
Take that.
Yeah, so we'll see. It's a long season, though. A lot of ups, a lot of downs in the fight. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you for starting that. We had a lot of fun doing that through the years.
Absolutely. I wish I could have won it more, though.
Yeah, no question. It's great to win. All right, we're going to take a break. We've got, this show's gone to the dogs. And apparently Aspen is coming up next. So we'll see what Aspen has for us. We'll ask her a question or two right here on Jags Report Live from Sneakers.
Coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Kids watch the Toy Story edition, do you think?
I don't know. I have to check in on them. They might have. I have to check. We'll see.
I think the Toy Story thing was pretty cool watching it, but in the end, I don't know. We welcome you back to Jags Report Live. I want to ask, David, you have daughters.
Yeah.
Now, they're a little bit older. They're probably past, but they know Toy Story.
Yeah.
They know Woody, right? They know Jesse. They know Buzz Lightyear. Did they watch that at all? Did they turn to that just to look at it or no?
They did not.
No?
But I did.
You did.
And I thought, if I was still a little kid, I would have loved to watch the game this way. It would have intrigued me, and I would have thought, you know what, I'm going to watch more football because of it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, it was in Andy's room, too, as well.
Yeah.
So,
super cool.
Well, look, the NFL's a billion-dollar industry for a lot of reasons, and one big reason is they're marketing geniuses. Just ask Taylor Swift. Not going there. Let's talk about the AFC South, though, Dave. I get the feeling after 4 games, and I want your opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I thought at the beginning of the year, hey, the Jags, they're the heavy favorites in the South. They'll be in the playoffs. They might be a 1 or 2 seed. Now I feel like, listen, I took too much for granted. The AFC South is better than we thought. Almost all the teams won yesterday. Indy came back, lost in overtime to the Rams. The other 2 programs won. What are your thoughts on the AFC South right now?
You know, it's going to be a dogfight.
A dogfight, yeah.
It's going to be a dogfight, and that's really cool, actually. It's, you know, to win it means you actually played good football.
That's true.
And you went out there and took it. So it's not something that we're playing a bunch of raggedy teams. We've got to go earn it. And if we do, then we can go on into the playoffs and have a good success there.
We got a little problem in Houston. Old C.J. Stroud looks pretty good. There they all are. They're all 2-2 going forward. Jags go to the Bills. Titans at Colts, so somebody's got to lose that one. And the Texans go to Atlanta, where they could jump up to 3-2, man.
Yeah, and C.J. Stroud is a good quarterback, and he is going to be on the verge of probably Rookie of the Year if he keeps going the way he has. Hasn't thrown an interception yet for a rookie.
I know.
And he is throwing like for 300 yards in almost every game. So
he's been impressive.
He's going to be somebody we have to get after for a long time in this division.
Point. Now, does the Garrard family have a dog?
We have 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Yeah, we have Kiki, who was a Chihuahua, and we have Augie. She's a golden doodle.
Okay, so you have the little foo-foo dog.
We have a little foo-foo
and
a bigger foo-foo.
All right, well,
not a big foo-foo.
Here on our program, we have a dog. We have Aspen, and tonight we ask Aspen.
It's time for Ask Aspen, sponsored by Subaru of Jacksonville on Atlantic, the right choice for your next vehicle.
Last few weeks have been tough on you. It's emotionally draining. Yeah, you're making these picks. You're trying really hard, but I think we're just gonna make the picks a little bit easier. Does that sound good?
Week 4, is this the turnaround? Is this the turnaround? All right, let's get ready. All right, Aspen, make your pick.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a celebration style. Aspen gets a celebrity pup cup. So she's as happy as can be, for goodness
I hope my
sake.
dogs aren't watching that knowing they can get a pup cup.
Oh, yeah, and they could get some TV time as well if they come on the program. The Aspen Tracker, we have that as well. I mean, my gosh, week 1, but finally, week 4, a winner for Aspen and our Jaguars.
Aspen.
Congratulations. Listen. Jag Social, by the way, coming up on Friday. That's always a fun show. That's with Chandler and Olivia. You can watch that 7:30 where you have more of Aspen. Aspen has become a star here, and you know, I'm just the old man just making my way through. Some final thoughts from you, David Garrard. We're a quarter through the season. What are your thoughts about this Jaguar football team?
Well, my main thought is just to be more consistent offensively. Defense, continue the intensity, continue to fight. And special teams, don't be a problem like they were, I believe, in week 3. So we just have to overall, as a team, my key word is consistent. Be more consistent.
Well, it's great to see you, man. I'm glad you're doing well. You're raising a beautiful family.
Well, have
got his
me
2
back
daughters
again.
here. Mary's here. David's here. His son had football practice, so he didn't want to come. But you can take the chicken wings home to him. He'll be happy at 3:30.
He's waiting for the food.
David Garrard, ladies and gentlemen, former Jaguars quarterback. We appreciate him coming on the program. We get ready for the Buffalo Bills. Remember, the Jags changed hotels. They'll take on Buffalo at Tottenham Stadium, so a different stadium, a different venue, if you will. But the Jags will go after it, and they'll take on the Bills and try to get to 3-2. It's a great challenge. It's a great opportunity. It's a great measuring stick to see where they are. Hopefully they play better than they did last time against a really good team, Kansas City. Thanks for hanging out with us here at Sneakers. Appreciate it. DUUUVAL! DUUUVAL! All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Farrah & Farrah, the exclusive